In today's video, I'm going to share with you a great exercise to make sure you're getting the right tilts in your backswing. Make sure you check this video out. Welcome back to the TruGolf Academy. You've joined me, Jon Watts, today at Branston Golf and Country Club. Today's video, as I mentioned there in the intro, is all about the backswing. So I mentioned there in the intro the word tilts, which confuses a lot of people. A lot of golfers are trying to turn and we see too much lateral movement off the ball. We quite often see their shoulders working too horizontally. Now, we are trying to turn but around our spine angle, so we're creating a turn on a tilted axis effectively. And I've done a number of videos talking about this, and I will put a couple of links up here that are well worth checking out. But today I'm going to show you the really simple drill. We're in the middle of winter, so it's quite cold. You might not be getting as much golf out on the golf course. This exercise is going to work really well at home to make sure you're nailing your backswing. It's a question I get a lot, actually. I've had a lot recently on social media in replies to some of my previous videos about the backswing. How do I start it? How do I move it? Is it my arms? Is it a conscious movement with my arms, or is it just my upper body? You know, how do we make this movement? And this exercise will really give you the right feels to achieve the backswing position you're looking for. So it may be something you're working on this winter, and just using a couple of stretch bands or TheraBands are really going to help your backswing movement. If you haven't already, or you are new to my video, please do think about subscribing to the channel. It is for free, at least 2 instructional videos a week to make sure it helps your game. You just hit the subscribe button, and if you hit the little bell icon, it notifies you when any video goes live. So I'm going to be using, as I said, a couple of stretch bands here, and I'm simply going to be standing on them. I've actually got 2 different kinds. This one is a proper looped, whereas this one is more of a yoga stretch band that I'm going to hold in position. It really doesn't matter. So one's going to go under my lead foot, one's going to go under my trail foot. And what we're going to be doing is I'm actually going to be switching hands so the bands are diagonal effectively. So in my lead hand, I'm holding the band that is under my trail foot, and in my trail hand furthest away from the target, I'm holding the band that was under my lead foot. So I'm making almost that X shape that you can see there. And what I'm going to be trying to work on is the backswing movement here, and then the through swing movement here. So what we're trying to get to maintain our spine angle is we're trying to get my lead shoulder, that is my shoulder closest to the target, to move a little bit down and in front of me. And you can see the reaction to that is my trail shoulder is moving up and a little bit behind me for me to maintain my spine angle. What do we see with too many golfers? We see their lead shoulder moving, almost covering their chin too horizontally. From that position, often we'll see an increase of spine angle, straightening, head going up, head moving, and we don't really coil, so quite often the swing ends up too long. We don't end up with that resistance we're really looking for. So a question I got was, is it the body movement? How conscious am I going to be in my arms? I think if you do this drill and you focus on what the big muscles are doing, the arms can almost be taken along for the ride here. So what I'm trying to feel is a little bit of a chainsaw movement. I want to feel like I'm pulling the band that's underneath my lead foot on the backswing, and it's going to feel like I'm pulling it up diagonally towards my right shoulder. And to achieve that, my lead shoulder is going down in front of me, my trail shoulder is moving up and behind me. So I'm just conscious of this movement there, that lead shoulder moving up and behind me to pull the band. It is not obviously a lateral movement this way, and it's not just straight up vertical. So I feel like my trail shoulder is moving up and behind me. My lead shoulder is moving down and in front of me. That really gives me that resistance, and I can feel a real pull here in my lower back and on the inside of my trail thigh as I wind up into the backswing movement here. On the downswing, we want to lose a bit of resistance from this band and gain the resistance in the band that's under my trail foot. So again, I'm feeling like this lead hand is now pulling up and to the left behind me, and that's getting that lead shoulder clearing behind me, my trail shoulder moving towards my golf ball, which is exactly what I'm looking for. As I make my backswing, my lead shoulder moves down and in front of me towards the ball. the trail shoulder moves up and behind me. On the downswing, I want the opposite movement. The trail shoulder moves down towards the golf ball. The lead shoulder is moving up and behind me. And that's what I'm going to get with this feeling of the bands, creating that resistance. That's the backswing feeling I want. That's the through swing. Let me just do a couple more of those. Feeling that diagonal movement, that pull here. Losing some resistance on that band as I recenter myself. And now it's this blue band that I'm pulling up and to the left for me as a right-handed golfer. And that's really getting me the right feels of coiling better. What my shoulders are trying to do. If I can focus on what my shoulders are trying to do, this lead shoulder moving down and in front of me, my trail shoulder moving up and behind me, and then the opposite on the way down, it's a great feeling to maintain our spine angle, to create more coil, some more speed, more resistance in our backswing. And actually, if we focus on what the big muscles are doing, perhaps the arms can just go with it. So once I've done those exercises, grab a golf club. You know, and if we're doing this at home, hitting some airflow balls in the back garden, or just even making the movement pattern at home in the house. So I want to get that feeling on my lead shoulder moving down and in front of me, my trail shoulder moving up and behind me. I wasn't really thinking too much about what the arms were doing, but you can see the arms can get into a pretty good position when I'm working my shoulders correctly. And this movement I'm looking for in the backswing. And I just want the opposite on the downswing. So trail shoulder moves down towards the ball, lead shoulder moves up and behind me. I always love this exercise as a good winter exercise, that coiling movement that I've done many times. But if I put a marker about 2 feet past the golf ball, club across my shoulders, lead shoulder moving down, pointing at that ball that's 2 feet past the one I'd be hitting. And then on the downswing, I'm trying to get the club looking like it's over the top of the golf ball. Very much the same feeling. Lead shoulder moves down and in front of me, trail shoulder up and behind. Back into impact. So loads of great exercises we can do without even hitting golf balls that are really going to help us in the off season. I'm going to go ahead and hit 2 shots. I'm going to do one at a slower pace, just getting that sensation of what my shoulders are trying to do. I'm using a mid-iron here, but this is relevant with any club. Definitely got that sensation of what my shoulders are trying to do on the backswing movement there. Let me hit one more golf ball. So that same feeling, creating that coil up. It's easier to feel the backswing movement as that's happening slower. The downswing may just be a reaction for you, but it's the opposite to what we're getting. So couple of nice slow pace practice swings just to feel I can build up those movements. Got some good quality strikes on both of those. Getting the feeling of tilting and turning. It's not just a turn of my shoulders. It is not just a tilt. We are turning on a tilted axis, but focusing on what our shoulders are doing, really going to help our arms just go with it, go along for the journey. If this video has helped, make sure you hit the thumbs up. That does help me out. And as I said at the start there, subscribe to the channel just to make sure you never miss a video again. Cheers guys, we'll see you soon.